بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم.
شروع اللہ کے نام سے جو رحمان و رحیم ہے.
اقرأ بسم ربک الذی خلق.
پڑھو اے نبی اپنے رب کے نام کے ساتھ جس نے پیدا کیا.
خلق الانسان من علق.
جمے ہوئے خون کے ایک لوتھڑے سے انسان کی تخلیق کی.
اقرأ وربک الاکرم.
پڑھو اور تمہارا رب بڑا کریم ہے.
الذی علم بالقلم.
جس نے قلم کے ذریعے سے علم سکھایا.
علم الانسان ما لم يعلم.
انسان کو وہ علم دیا جسے وہ نہ جانتا تھا.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning to all the students out there. Let's start the class with the name of Allah, who is the most beneficent and merciful. This is class 6 and the third video lecture of English language teaching ELT grammar of week number 4. Now let's start the class. Now before starting the class, I'm going to tell you we have discussed or studied the unit number 11 adverb in our previous classes. Today we will start or study the new unit number 12 preposition and its chapter number 33 definition and usage. Now before going ahead, first you should know what is the preposition and what does the term preposition means. Preposition is also a parts of a speech, and parts of a speech I have told you in my previous classes. The parts of a speech are 8 in numbers. For example, noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjection and adjective. So preposition is one of them. So today we will study about the preposition. So let's see what does the preposition means. Preposition term is divided into two parts. The first is pre, which means before, and the second is position, which means place. It means that the position or place of the preposition is before. But before what? Before the noun. So there is a statement that preposition is always comes before the noun. The second statement is that the actual definition of preposition is that the preposition is a word which shows the relationship between the subject and the object. Preposition shows the relationship between the subject and the objects. To clarify the both statements, we just take the example for clarifying the both statements. So here is the example: I live in Karachi, right? So in is a preposition in this sentence and Karachi is a noun. So preposition in and Karachi is a noun. So preposition comes before the noun. So it's clear the first statement, that is the preposition always come before the noun. So preposition comes before the noun. The second statement, preposition shows the relationship between the subject is I here, and noun, you can say this is an object. Karachi is an object. So in shows the relationship between the subject I and the object Karachi. It means that where does the subject lives, where does the subject live? The I is a subject and it lives in Karachi. So it shows the relationship between the subject and the object. So here the both statements are cleared by this example. The first statement is preposition comes before the noun and the preposition comes before the noun, and the second statement is preposition shows the relationship between the subject and the object. So we can say that preposition is a connecting word which connects the subject to the object and always comes before the noun. Now let's discuss the object of preposition. And the second thing is that preposition must have the object. Without the object, preposition is incomplete and it shows the adverb. So let's check it out. If I write here, This letter is from. It means that in this sentence there is no object. From is a preposition but there is no object. It gives the incomplete sense. This letter is from. So if I can write here the object Multan, it gives the complete sense to this sentence. This letter is from Multan. So it means that preposition must always have an object which gives the complete sense to your sentence. Now let's discuss the purpose of the preposition. Why do we need to study the preposition? The question is that why do we need to study the preposition? The answer is that the purpose of studying the prepositions are the purposes of study the preposition are for indicating the time, These are the purposes to study the preposition. The first one is indicating the time and the second one is indicating the place or movement. So these are the reasons and these are the purposes. That's why we need to study the preposition. Now let's discuss the forms of the preposition. The first is simple preposition. Simple preposition contains only one or single word, that is the in, by, at, on, with, to, up, so on and so forth. Now the next one is double prepositions. Double prepositions are formed by the one or two simple or single prepositions. For example, within, upon, now the third one is complex or into, onto, now the third one is complex. It is also called the compound prepositions, and the complex or compound preposition are formed by the one or two or more than two words. For example, in the middle of, on account of, above, along, about. And the last one is participle preposition. Participle preposition always end in gerund, ing, d, ed or ied. For example, during and provided. Now, after knowing the purposes and forms of preposition, let's discuss the types of prepositions. The first type is preposition of time. Preposition of times indicating the time to show the relationship between the subject and the object. For example, at, after, before, and the second is prepositions of place. Prepositions of place shows the or indicate the place and shows the relation to and shows the relation between the subject and object. For example, near, at, on, up, down, behind, under, below, into, prepositions of movement and preposition of movement and direction indicates the direction or movement to show the relationship between the subject and object. For example, by, with, and you can say, I can write it, I made it. With the pencil colors, how so here with shows the manners that how does the subject perform the any action. So here the with is the preposition which shows the preposition and manners, the process of drawing or making the anything. Now, after knowing the types of the preposition, come to the rules of preposition. How to put the preposition? There are some rules. The first one is, in interrogative sentences, the preposition always come in the beginning of the sentences. For example, by which train did you come? The second rule is this: preposition can't be followed by the verb, but if there is a preposition in any sentence, the verb comes before the preposition but in a gerund form. For example, he insists on trying once again. Here on is the preposition and try is a verb, but it comes before the after the preposition in a gerund form. The third rule is if the object of the preposition is infinitive, so the preposition always come in the end of the sentence. For example, infinitives are to plus verb. This is the structure of infinitive. Infinitives. An example is that I need a pencil to write with. Here, to write is an infinitive, and infinitive is present in this sentence, so that's why the preposition comes in the end of the sentence. With is a preposition. If the object of the preposition is the relative pronoun, so preposition is also comes in the end of the sentence, and the relative pronoun is relative pronouns are that, which, whom, but here we talk about only that. For example, this is the dish that she is fond of. Of is a preposition and fond of is also a phrasal preposition, so that is a relative pronoun, and preposition comes in the end of the sentence. And the rule fifth is this: now let's check out the another rule of putting the preposition. That is if the object of the preposition is in an interrogative pronoun like who, what, where, which, so the preposition is also comes in the end of the sentence. For example, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? And what are you thinking of? At and of, the both are the preposition which comes in the end of the sentence, because the object of the pronoun are in interrogate. The object of the pronoun or preposition, the object of the preposition are in an interrogative pronoun, so that's why the preposition comes in the end of the sentence. And I told you in the rule number 5, the object of the prepositions are in interrogative pronoun like what, which, who, so the preposition comes in the end of the sentence. Now after knowing the rules of the preposition, let's discuss some common preposition and their uses. The first one is in. In has so many uses, but here I am telling you the few uses. The first one is when we talk about the biggest city, biggest town, biggest city, biggest town, country, we put in. For example, he lives in Japan. Now the second one is we use in when we talk about the limit of a time. For example, limit of time. He will return my book in a week. The third one is when your subject in a resting state. When your subject is in a resting state, so we put in, for example, she is in the room. In is a preposition. Here there is no movement in the subject, but she is in a resting condition, so that's why we put in this sentence. We used on when your subject is in the resting state. For example, she sat on the floor. For the resting state, we use the on preposition. The book is on the table. There is no movement in the book. It is just lying on the table, so that's why we put on. The book is on the table. Upon. When your subject is in a moving condition, we use the upon preposition. For example, the tiger sprang upon her. Here the tiger is in an action condition, is in a moving condition, so that's why we put upon as a preposition in this sentence. Into. When we talk about for keeping inside anything, we use the into preposition. For example, pour into the water, pour the water into the glass, and she is jumping into the pool. Into the pool. When we talk about only two things, two noun or two object, we use the between as a preposition. For example, divide this money between the two boys or two people. Divide this between the two boys. So we use here between as a preposition. When we talk about more than two objects, two persons or two people, we use the among as a preposition. She, for example, she is a bone of contention among us. She is the superior among us, and you can write this. Divide this among all of us, or you can say divide this among us. Divide this among us. Okay, now let's start. When we talk about the at preposition, we use at. When we talk about the small cities, small towns, we use at. For example, she comes at Shikarpur. Shikarpur is a small town, that's why we put the at as a preposition. At is also used when we talk about the point of time. I get up at 6 o'clock. Here 6 o'clock represent the time, so we use at as a preposition when we talk about the point of time. Let's discuss the another preposition, that is the since. Since is used for the point of time, or it is also used for when we talk about the particular time. We use since as a preposition. For example, I have been reading since morning. Or since 6 o'clock. Here I have been reading since morning or since o'clock. Morning and 6 o'clock represent the point of time, a particular time. That's why we use this since as a preposition. Now for is used for telling the duration or period of time. I have been teaching here for 4 years. Here 4 years represent the period or duration of time. That's why we use the for as a preposition in this sentence. Now today we have discussed the first, what is the preposition. Preposition is a word, or you can say it's a connecting word which shows the relationship between the subject and the object, and it always comes before the noun. And after knowing the term and definition of preposition, we have discussed the purposes of preposition. The purposes of prepositions are indicating of time and indicating of place. And we have discussed the forms of preposition. There are 4 forms of preposition. We have studied the single or simple preposition like at, in, for, and double prepositions like within, up to, into, complex and compound preposition on account of, above, along, and the last one is participle preposition like during and provided. And after this we have discussed the types of preposition: preposition of time and preposition of place, preposition of direction or movement, and preposition of manners. Then we have discussed the rules of preposition, how to put the prepositions in any sentence, and in the last we have discussed the some common preposition and their uses. Now this is the end of this topic. Let's discuss the book exercises. What will you do in this exercise 1 on page number 172? You just have to pick out the preposition in the given sentences. The first I will solve for you that father, that is the father is not at home. What is the preposition in this sentence? You just have to pick out, that is the at. At is the preposition in this sentence, and the whole points will be solved in a same way as I am telling you. Now come to the exercise number 2 on page number 172. What will you do in this exercise? There is a puzzle, and there is a puzzle in which the different words are jumbled to make the preposition. At least there are 22 prepositions are hidden in this grid. You just find out and write the next to it. I'm telling you only the one. You can go up to down and right to left and across. Here you can find out this some preposition and you can write next to it. The first one is beside. Next is at, in, up, and you can find out more preposition in a same way. You can go from up to down, and you can go from right to left, and across the whole grid, and you can find out the more preposition as I did, and I can solve it in my Xerox. You can find out from there. Now come to the exercise number 3 on page number 173. What will you do in this exercise? In this exercise, you just have to pick out the preposition and also its object. I am telling you, preposition needs a object, and without the object there is no preposition. It comes in the adverb. So preposition must have the object. For example, he returned after a year. He returned after a year. Here, after is a preposition and year is an object. Preposition, after, and the object is year. Now let's discuss the exercise number 4 on page number 173. What will you do? You have to just put the preposition, appropriate preposition, in the following blanks. The first one is the horse is dash the stable. The horse is dash the stable shows the horse in a resting condition. There is no movement in the horse. So that's why we put in as a preposition, because in shows or horse shows there is no movement in the horse. He just in a resting condition in the stable. That's why we put as in as a preposition. And the whole exercises and all exercises from 1 to 4 will be solved in the same manners as in the same way as I did and as I told you, and I have solved it in my Xerox. You can see there. Now after this, let's discuss the homework. These are the homework. The first one is from the solution. You have to copy the all work from the given solution from page number 91 to 93. And before starting the work, don't forget to make the title page of week number 4 and unit number 12 preposition and chapter number 33 definition and usage, and make sure that you are making and preparing the index on the daily basis. So you have to also prepare the index. And from the video homework, what will you do? You have to just make the sentences by using these following preposition. The first one is on, by, off. This is the end of today's lecture. I hope you have got everything. English language teaching channel beginners of week number 4. Now let's start the class. Before starting the class, I'm telling you that we have discussed and started the unit number 6 and its lesson number 1 in our previous classes. Today we will study its lesson number 2. Now in this lesson there is a conversation, and in this conversation there are two characters between the two friends, and the first one is Alan, Barry, and they are discussing about their and expressing about likes and dislikes of any sports, and the basic functions of this conversation is expressing like and dislike. In this conversation, Alan is expressing his likes about the sports he likes to play and watching the basketball, and Barry. What about the Barry? Barry is also expressing his like and dislike. He loves to play the tennis and he doesn't like the basketball and football. The basic structures is used in this conversation is present simple tense, just like I don't like, I hate it, and I watch on TV, I play it every day and every weekend. And negative form, I don't like, and yes, no question, do you like the tennis? Yes, I like it. And do you like the basketball? No, I don't like it. You don't play the basketball or tennis? No, I don't. And the short answer, no, I don't, and I don't like it. These are the basic grammatical structures are used in this conversation. Now, there are a lot of vocabularies and under the different headings are used in this conversation, like some nouns, Alan, Barry, and sports, basketball, football, tennis, TV. These are the nouns are used in this conversation in vocabulary under the noun heading. And for showing the expression for this conversation, and I need a partner, so please I request to Miss, please come forward for showing the expression via conversation. Yes, Miss.
Hey baby, do you know that basketball's finals on TV tonight?
I hate basketball, you know that.
Yeah, I know that, but I love it. What about the Chris?
He is also hates the basketball, and he loves to play the football.
Football?
Yeah, I think it's a boring game. I don't like the football. I love to play tennis. My brother and I always play together the tennis on every weekend.
Oh, I love tennis too.
What? Don't you play the tennis?
No dear, I don't play. I just watch it on TV.
Okay, thank you, Miss. Now, after this conversation and showing the expression, what will you do? You have to just complete the book exercise. After reading the conversation, what will you do in this exercise? You just have to write the initial letter of their names. For example, A for Alan, B for Barry, and the C for Chris. Next to the following given option, that who and what says. The first one is I hate basketball. Now who hates the basketball? Barry and Chris. So you can write here the initial letter of their name, Barry for B and C for Chris. The next one is I like football. Who likes the football? You can write the initial letter of his or her of his name next to this option, I like football. That is the Chris. You can write the C for Chris. Now, after this book exercise, come to the listening task. On page number 43, there is a sport activity. What will you do in this activity? In a sports activity, you just listen the phrases and match the given pictures. The first one is I play basketball. So you can match this phrase with the picture or picture number 7. Now come to the listening task. There are 3 people. First one is Jason. The second is Sania, and the last one is Cora. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the last is Sunday. What will you do in the listening task? First you have to listen this listening transcript carefully, and then you will have to tick the correct days when they go to the gym. So I'm reading the listening transcript. You just have to listen to carefully and tick the correct days. The first is Jason. I work in a shop and I go to work every day except Sundays and Wednesdays. There is a gym near my house and I go to there every Monday and Thursday after work. Now, when does the Jason go to the gym? Every Monday and Thursday. Now, the second is Tanya, I am a waitress and I work hard, but I don't work every day. I work on Thursdays and Fridays. Saturdays and Sundays, I have time to go to the gym, but I don't really like to sew. I go there every Monday and Wednesday. When does the Tanya go to the gym? Every Monday and Wednesday. Now the last one is Cora. Cora, I am an architect and I haven't got any free time on weekdays. I work hard every day, but I go to the gym at the weekend. It helps me relax. Cora goes to the gym at every weekend. Weekend shows the days Saturday and Sunday, so you can take the Saturday and Sunday. Now after the listening, this is the listening on page number 43. Now after this listening, come to the oral practice. What will you do in this oral practice? Oral practice I have given you in week number 5. So don't be so confused. In my Xerox you will find it in week number 5. Okay. This is the oral practice on page number 43. What will you do? In this oral practice, there is a group activity among the 4 people and you are the president of this activity, and the 3 students will also play with you. And first you will have to write about your like and dislike about any sports. You like the basketball, you can write here in the like column, and you don't like tennis, so you will write in the don't like column and the row, and then you will ask the question to the rest of the student and write about their like and dislike in the actual column. So first you will ask the question. After writing about your like and don't like, you will ask the question to student 1, student 2 and student 3. Do you like basketball? If student 1 likes the basketball, so you can write in his column. Student 1 tells you, yes, I do. So you can write here basketball. And then student 2 will reply you, no, I don't, it's boring. So you can write in the student 2 column next to the don't like option, basketball. Then student 3 will reply you, yes, I like it, it has a great fun. Basketball. Then you will ask about the another sport. Do you like the tennis? So student 1 will reply you, no, I don't like tennis. So you can also reply, I also don't like the tennis. That's why I write here in the don't like option next to the don't like option. Student 1 will also reply you, no, I don't like tennis. So you can write here in the don't like next to the don't like option. Student will reply you that he doesn't like the tennis. That's why I am writing the next to the don't like option. Student 2 will reply you, yes, student 1 will say, no, I don't, it's boring. And I write next to the don't like option in the student 1 column. Student 2 will reply you, yes, I like the tennis. So you can write next to the like option in student 2 column. Then student 3 will reply you, I also don't like the tennis. So you can write in the student 3 column next to the don't like option. Now this is the oral practice. You can practice it with your partner at your home. Now come to the homework. This is the homework from solution. Copy all work from page number 87 to 89 from the given Xerox, and from the video what will you do? Converse with your friend and discuss about their like and dislike. Now this is the end of today's lecture, and thank you very much for being with me. I hope you have got everything, and we will meet you soon with new topic in our next classes. Till then, take care. Allah Hafiz and see ya.